the wonderful Wizard of Oz. No one believed in you more than I did.
Hello everyone, I'm Jacqueline and I want to welcome you to Fandango's big ticket interview with the cast and filmmakers of Wicked for Good. Hello everyone.
What's up?
I feel so lucky and the internet is going to be so jealous because I'm sitting here with all of you lovely folks and I get to turn to you, Jon, and let's set the stage a little bit.
Yes.
$750 million at the box office, billions of streams of the soundtrack,
Let's go.
hundreds of accolades, including 10 Academy Awards, including 2 for these lovely ladies sitting alongside me right here, so well deserved. What has been the most special thing for you as we head into Act 2? What is the thing about Act 1 that is most precious or most surprised you?
The best part of it all is that we did it together, that we were all we weren't scared coming in, but we knew the stakes coming in. And we knew the only people who could save it was ourselves. And we trusted each other and linked arms and trusted that we would find it together. And so the fact that the audience has accepted that and take it into their own lives and that we get to celebrate each other every day and get to be in interviews like this, which is very rare now, it just means the world to me that that's our job. Is to work together to find something and create something that has never been invented before. And so, yes, that's what I take with me right now as we release For Good to the world. We know what exists there. We know what the world's about to experience. And so I can't wait for them to see this and realize that movie 1 was only one half of a bigger story that we're ready to tell.
I can't wait for part 2. First of all, thank y'all for inviting me to this family reunion because I know you guys act like family whenever y'all are together. And I have to start with you two ladies because I adored everything that you did on screen, everything that you did from the Super Bowl until the Oscars. But what is it for you? What is the most precious? What is the most surprising? What is the thing that you're taking as you memorialize part 1 going into part 2?
Well, I think our relationship and just being able to do this with each other has been such a gift, you know? We really took the time to learn each other and become true friends, and that's been really beautiful. And it's such a vulnerable thing to do something like this, to be a part of something that is so much bigger than you, than us, and we really just gave it our all together, and the stakes were high and we learned so much, and we've been changed for good. We really have.
She said it.
It's true, it's true.
Yeah. The thing that maybe was, because I think that was the most precious, so there's no answer to top that, but I think the thing that maybe surprised me the most is probably how moved we were by how moved everyone else has been. I don't know that either one of us could have expected the reception for these characters because we love them deeply. We love them as a sistership, but we love them individually, and to see how much other people and the viewers and everyone around the world has fallen in love with these 2 women, these 2 characters, has really sort of overwhelmed me and Ari, because it's one thing to be within it and to take great care of them and to love them into existence, but it's quite another thing for other people to want to take care of them too. Yeah.
That is so precious. And I think what's so interesting is when I was sitting back with y'all on this set before, like, God, it's only been a year, but talking about the very first part, the way you were talking about it, people didn't know.
Yeah.
And then the film came out and everyone's like, yeah, I get it. I totally get it. Like, they were loud. And it's because everything y'all did gave us chills. Like, whether it was you in the dance moment or dancing through life, or you singing with Cynthia, or sir, the minute you stepped on screen. But Jon, for you to kind of preview a little bit about where we're going, what is the thing in part 2 that gave you chills? What are you most excited for these audience to see and have that experience?
I mean, so many things. The temperature is up. We are no longer in school. We get to see in movie 1, we saw cracks of who they are to become. We saw them make choices that position them on the stage of what could be. And in movie 2, we get to see those things play out. We get to see the sacrifices that it takes, the choices and the hard questions that come when you are alone fighting for justice, when you are alone in your tower deciding whether this is the right thing to do, when you are in power and you have choices of how you're going to take a nation, and or when you have ambition that pushes you to do something. To me, we have action, we have drama of this friendship that now the state is in between the 2 of you. We want them to be together and everything's against them, the propaganda, the people, everything. What is it going to take for them to be together? We have part monster movie with the creation of iconic creatures in the tradition of Universal that we don't even know how they became those things. We have the crashing down of the most famous house in history with some of the most famous characters, and how they became witch hunters in our movie. So it all becomes together into a beautiful sort of, we'll see what happens at the end, but to me, that's what it's all about. Why Wicked exists is Wicked for good. That's the part that I loved in the show when I first saw it, and I know that the audience is gonna be plugged right in with us along that way.
Yeah, just give it to me now. Give me the movie now. Like
I've seen it.
Like I would really like
now,
to hear it.
please.
I mean, one of the things I'm looking forward to, and John kind of previewed it, Jonathan, is there's a lot of transformation that happens in this. And I don't want to spoil it for people who maybe haven't seen the stage play or read the book, but you deal with some transformation in this iteration a little bit. Can you just preview a little bit? Like, that's a physical thing for you, maybe more than dancing.
It is, yeah. I mean, it's an entire transformation, emotionally, physically, and kind of spiritually, I think. It's fascinating to play someone who's in a deep crisis, who, at the beginning of the second film, is, again, playing a very different part. Unfortunately, much like all the brilliant performances of everyone in the first film, you yearn for how they felt in the first film, and Fierro is without his joy. He's been activated politically, and all the characters have to make these huge decisions. But he's in a moment of quiet rebellion at the beginning of it, and that's, spins him into making huge decisions inspired by certain people, which ultimately end in a very different, hopefully emotionally consistent.
Yeah.
You did that so well.
Yeah.
Like, can we just give it up for that? Because that's so hard to describe all that. But no, that is so great, and I can't wait for folks to see it if they don't know what's in store, or whether or not they do. Mr. Jeff Goldblum, sir, I want to bring it to you, because when we sat on this stage the last time, you had to kind of pretend like you were just the lovely wizard, but we knew that you were going to be a little bit more villainous. Going into part 2, the stage is set and you get to kind of go all dastardly. How exciting is that for you to kind of lean into the more villainous side of Oz?
Well, I'm excited about the whole thing. By the way, I was going to tell you that today, as we sit here, is Michelle Yeoh's birthday.
Happy birthday!
I'd be remiss if I didn't say that on her birthday.
Thank you.
Well, the wizard character, I think, is touched by Elphaba, with whom I have this mysterious secret connection that I'm going to awaken to at some point. But I've sold out, myself and my conscience and my principles and my values, and I think some goodness that I had initially for some cheap adoration and a fan base, a fleeting fan base, and some status and a power and a position of authority. And I've sacrificed some things, and I don't realize it yet. And I think until I meet her, and then things start to, over this 4-year interval between the first and second movie, I think things are bubbling and boiling. I think I'm struggling mightily, and we'll see what happens when all HE double hockey sticks breaks loose.
It's true. And listen, one of the architects, or maybe the weather person behind some of that chaos, is our Madame Morrible by you, Miss Michelle Yeoh, ma'am. I think this whole experience has been special to you. You came back from the Academy Awards with your win while you were on set. But for you, what has been the most sort of like wisdom that you've sort of been imparting in this experience? Because I remember they were saying in our roundtables, you were the one on set saying, this is special. Take this moment. Cherish it.
Wow, I think honestly now looking back, I remember when Jon first came to me and asked me to do this, and then I got the imperative order from two gorgeous ladies here. The one thing that happened to me when the movie first came out was I had a lot of fans come up to me and say, "Are you really Wicked? Are you going to be Wicked?" I know, but they were scared, almost apprehensive to find out the real answer. But then that's the beauty about this character, which we see in quite a lot of people, is that we get so blinded by our own ambition, we forget that other people too have their own dreams and needs to be realized. So as I was going into Wicked 2, and then of course the realization, Jon actually called me Madame Horrible. Then I knew right away, okay.
Fiercest Madame Horrible.
But that was great, because it was good, because I'd had to accept she's not horrible. horrible. She's just blinded by it. Because if you think about it, Madame Morrible, M, flip it around, Wicked Witch.
Just depends on which direction you're looking.
That's right.
great.
Yeah.
I gotta get it. The internet will literally like string me up if I don't ask you two about For Good. They're literally gonna be like, no, talk about the song. I can hear them in the comments already typing.
Oh, no.
I know that was the first thing y'all did together that day, and I guess either Steven Schwartz or Mark Platt's house.
Oh,
your
yes,
house. Yeah, but
yes.
Steven Schwartz was on the piano.
Yes.
I don't want to take you back to that moment, but take it from that moment to when y'all finally did it on set, and how those two things fused. I want to get both of you to talk about that real quick.
I mean, there's so much growth that happened between that day in Jon's house to the very many days on set that we shot that number. And at that moment, we really didn't know, even though we had an inkling and an understanding of who these characters might be, by the time we had shot that piece, we really understood who these women were and what their relationship was and what it could be and what they were having to leave behind and what they were yearning to hold on to. And so to shoot it was really, really emotional. Really, really emotional. And those were big, big days
Yes.
to move through. Yeah.
Similarly, it just felt like it was at a point as well where we had spent so long as these women with no time in between that it just felt so honest. It felt very, very, very real. No matter how many times we sang it, every single time it felt like saying goodbye to my best friend, you know? And it's an interesting dance that we have to do in that song because we're grateful to even have that moment to tell each other, like, hey, this got hard and kind of ugly, but I love you, I forgive you, and I'm so thankful that you're in my heart forever. You know, it's like, it's such a privilege to be able to say that to someone if you think you're gonna lose them forever. So it felt so surreal and really real every single time, and we were very deep in it, lost in the sauce
Very lost.
at that point. So it really did feel like just Glinda and Alphabet.
Incredible performances and like, I mean, incredible performances and beautifully shot as well. And there's some moments that will be revealed when you see the film that I think were just allowing the. Anyway.
Yeah. Jon is.
Not on
I
the
want to
page.
see it. Like, stop talking about it.
Sorry.
It's not fair.
No, but Jon, it's Jon, really.
But you can tell from the way she talks about it, they understand it so deeply, and they do acting, you know, in my humble opinion, and anybody with eyes, acting on the highest level that can be done, and at the same time are singing in a way that happens once in several generations. To do those together, incomparable. I don't know what can compare to that.
I just want to say I can't wait to see the film. I want to thank you all for all of your artistry and everything you've done to make it happen. I want to remind all of you, you can pick up tickets for Wicked for Good on sale now.